Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to take another quick look at the Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures game. So this just arrived in the mail. It's the Tantive 4 expansion, otherwise known as the CR-90 or the Corellian Corvette, as seen in Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, right in the beginning. If you haven't seen Star Wars A New Hope, I don't know why you're watching this video, but that's beside the point. So yeah, I really haven't had a chance to look at any of the upgrades or how this ship works, though in glancing at the rulebook, it's very similar to the medium transport, another huge ship that I recently covered in this series, so I expect to see some similarities there. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a brief look at what this particular expansion has to offer. Okay, and here's a brief snapshot of the components. Now, one thing I should note, that this is just a sampling of the smaller tokens in this expansion. I have more off camera. But this should just give you a general rundown of what's in here. You've got energy tokens, you've got some quest-specific ones, you've got this reinforced token, which was introduced in the medium transport expansion, different things like that. Just keep in the back of your mind that the tokens that usually come in these expansions usually reflect the ship class in question. Okay, so I'm guessing you guys want to see the model first thing. That's understandable. Just to put things in perspective, though, let me put the medium transport right next to it. Now, as you know, the medium transport is also considered a huge ship, but as you can see, the Corellian Corvette clearly just dwarfs it in size, as it should be. But, yeah, you're going to have to make a lot more room for this on your mantle, or wherever you happen to store these. When you compare that to, say, the medium transport here. So let's just take a closer look at this, and you have to be extremely careful. These stands here don't really hold this ship up all that well. The model obviously weighs heavier, more heavy than the medium transport, so you have, I don't like this, in all honesty. I wish there was another stand here to help support this weight. I've already broken, if you can believe it, the weight actually broke one of these connectors here, and I end up having to super glue this to this. So it's going to be stuck this way. I'm taking it apart is not going to be a possibility now. But anyway, here's a quick look at the model. Again, I want to be very careful with this. I guess we'll start from this side and zoom in. Let me refocus. Alright, so as you can see, some turbo laser batteries on the top and bottom there. And moving on over. And you've got some scorching back here. I'm thinking that may be representative of the damage that the ship took in A New Hope. Again, if you haven't seen the movie, go see it. It's how old now? Anyway, here's the back. And as you can see, this side is the same. Starting from this end, just working our way down. Alright, and from the front. So yeah, great model, very detailed, but again, very heavy. So, and takes up a lot of room. So yeah, definitely you're going to want to store this in a safe but spacious place. And just to quickly address the base here, as you can see, there's a lot of different things going on, and actually this just came off, it's alright. The front, or the forward base here, has a 360-degree firing arc, as you can see, and it also has some side firing arcs for the secondary weapon. The primary one has the 360 circle, and the two side ones are for your secondary weapons, which I'll show you in a minute. The back one does not have a primary weapon, but does have two firing arcs for the secondary weapon. Next up, we have a new range ruler, and these are actually two separate rulers. You just get two of these black clippies that you would get in these maneuver dials here. And there are two holes, one on the top of the three, one on the bottom of the three, and there's a 3 on both of the range rulers. You just simply fit them together like this. And the directions say to go ahead and put a second one here, but just, you know, trying to be a little smart about this. If I just put one here, I can sort of do this, and then I may be able to fit it into my box. I haven't tried yet, but I'm sure this would fit a lot better than this, as you can see. So I'm just going to keep it like this for right now, and that way I can easily fold it up if I need to. The maneuver template here is almost the same as the medium transport. 1, 2, 3, 4 straight, 1 slight turn in either direction. You've got a 2 slight turn in either direction. And just to quickly show you what the maneuver dial looks like, you'll find the same maneuvers on the maneuver dial. Let's see if I can refocus. There we go. Again, 1 slight turn in either way. That has 3 energy here. The ship will gain 3 energy using that maneuver. Next up, we've got the 2 slight left or slight right that has 2 energy associated with it. 2 straight ahead has 3 energy. 2 slight right, 2 energy. 3 straight ahead is 2 energy. 4 straight ahead is 1 energy. Now just to quickly show you the ship card itself, it has 4 primary weapon attack, 0 agility, 8 hull, 5 shields, and has a pilot skill of 4, but that behaves a little differently. The huge ships have a different or separate turn order when you compare that to the smaller or large ships. I explained a little bit of that in the medium transport expansion and in the game I played that utilized the medium transport. So definitely check that out after you're done here. But as you can see, there are 2 separate cards, one for the front, one for the back. The medium transport had just 1 card. And you'll actually have to cripple both sections of the ship in order to destroy it. Now, each ship has a backside to it. Whenever it's crippled, actually, let's flip that around there. As you can see, this is the crippled side of both ships. And as you can see, they have reduced capabilities, like the crippled forward section has 2 attack, as opposed to the 4 that you saw on the other side. The aft section, the good side here, has 5 energy, 0 agility, 8 hull, and 3 shields. And on the crippled side, all it can store is 1 energy, and has less upgrades. And whenever a side becomes crippled, the front or the back, you'll have to discard upgrade cards to accommodate for the damaged or the crippled side. So pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how these work in combat. And just to address these real quick, you've got the what is that? The reinforce action. These are relatively new to me too. I haven't played the medium transport enough to know what these are off the top of my head, but I think that's the reinforce action. I know that's not the reinforce action. I believe that is the actually, let me look at that. Coordinate. There we go. The coordinate action, and basically that allows another friendly ship to take an additional action. I believe it's at range 1 or 2, according to this rulebook here. The target lock action, and that can only be done via the forward section. And in the aft section here, you've got the what is it? The recover action. Let me check the rulebook again. Yes, the recover action lets you spend all of your energy to recover shields up to its value listed on the card, and there's also the reinforce, which basically gives it an extra evade during the defense roll. So yeah, there you go. Speaking of damage, you've got your damage deck here, and like the medium transport expansion, there are 2 separate decks, one for the forward section and one for the aft section, and I believe these are the forward section. Let me see. Let's see. Tracking misalignment. Yeah, this is for the forward section. So you've got like tracking misalignment. You've got scrambled scopes, direct hit. We all know what that does. Life support failure, comms failure, secondary drive failure. Onto the aft deck, we've got, let's see, life support failure, deck breach, grid overload, structural collapse, projector power failure. So yeah, there are different damage cards in either deck, and depending on which one you draw from, you may see some different things happening. Let's see, some other miscellaneous things to go over. This is a cargo container that is used with the mission, and I'm not going to go over the mission again here, but I'm just going to briefly show you what this looks like. I think it's pretty cool that this is the first expansion to feature something like this. Somehow it has 2 agility and 3 hull. The 3 hull I can understand, but a cargo container, at least in my X-Wing and TIE Fighter days on the PC, a cargo container didn't move unless something picked it up and moved it. So how it has an agility value of 2 is beyond me, but I'm assuming that somehow fits in with the mission in question. Okay, so we've got a ton of upgrade cards to get through, but I'll do my best to get through them as quick as possible. Leah Organa, let's see here. At the start of the activation phase, you may discard this card to allow all friendly ships that reveal a red maneuver to treat that maneuver as a white maneuver until the end of the phase. This is a crew card, rebel only, unique, upgrade cost of 4. R2D2. I've seen him in a few different places now. Rebel only. At the end of the end phase, if you have no shields, you may recover 1 shield and roll 1 attack die. On a hit result, randomly flip 1 of your face down damage cards face up and resolve it. That's pretty risky. Has an upgrade cost of 4. C3PO, once per round, before you roll 1 or more defense die, you may guess aloud a number of evade results. If you roll that many evade results before modifying dice, add 1 evade result. That has an upgrade cost of 3. A lot of casino-esque press your luck kind of upgrade cards so far. Han Solo, it's the first time I've seen him, I think, besides the ship. Rebel only when attacking. If you have a target lock on the defender, you may spend that target lock to change all of your focus results to a hit result. Upgrade cost of 2. It's not too shabby. Ramus Antilles. I'm guessing he's somehow related to Wedge Antilles. Huge ship only, rebel only. Upgrade cost of 6, so he must be pretty good. At the start of the activation phase, choose 1 enemy ship at range 1 to 3. You may look at that ship's chosen maneuver. If the maneuver is white, assign that ship 1 stress token. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty powerful. Targeting coordinator. Limited energy. You may spend 1 energy to choose 1 friendly ship at range 1 to 2. Acquire a target lock. Then assign the blue target lock token to the chosen ship. That has a cost of 4. Engineering team. During the activation phase, when you reveal a straight maneuver, gain 1 additional energy during the gain energy step. I have a feeling I'll be using that a lot. Great if you plan on soloing with this ship. I didn't go over the cost of the card itself, but the forward section has a cost of 50, and the rear section has a cost of 40. So that's 90 points just to add this ship to your fleet. So having this card available would definitely be a good idea, I think. Gunnery team, limited. Once per round, when attacking with a secondary weapon, you may spend 1 energy to change 1 of your blank results to a hit result. That has a cost of 4. Sensor team, when acquiring a target lock, you may lock onto an enemy ship at range 1 through 5 instead of range 1 through 3. Cost of 4. Single turbo lasers. It has a energy of 2 here, meaning that you can't get more than 2 energy on this card whenever you assign energy during the acquire energy / assign energy portion of your turn, and I'll get into that later. But it has a attack cost of 4, attack energy. Spend 2 energy from this card to perform this attack. The defender doubles his agility value against you or against this attack. You may change 1 of your focus results to a hit result. And the reason that there is a penalty associated with this, turbo lasers, for those of you not really familiar with the lore, are your huge guns that are meant to attack enemy capital ships. Smaller snub fighters can usually maneuver around these things, but if they do get hit, because they're more powerful, they tend to get blown up in 1 hit. So as a result, they have a pretty powerful attack value for range 3 to 5. It has an upgrade cost of 8. There's another single turbo lasers, another one. Quad laser cannons. These laser cannons are more suited for snub fighter defense. Attack energy. Spend 1 energy from this card to perform this attack. If this attack does not hit, you may immediately spend 1 energy from this card to perform this attack again. Interesting. It has a energy here of 2, attack value of 3. Again, it's weaker than your turbo laser, but there's no penalty here, and it's good for attacking smaller ships. As you can see here, you can immediately spend 1 energy to perform it again. You've got a range of 1 to 2, though. It's closer than the 3 to 5 mentioned on the other card. Cost of 6. More quad laser cannons here. To bandit gas supplies, I believe I saw this during the medium transport expansion. Energy, you may discard this card to gain 3 energy. Upgrade cost of 4. And again, these are like cargo cards, and they're on the bottom upgrade bar on those ships. Ionization reactor, energy 5 here. Energy, spend 5 energy from this card and discard this card that cause each other ship at range 1 to suffer 1 damage and receive 1 ion token. That has a cost of 4. Engine booster, limited. Immediately before you reveal your maneuver dial, you may spend 1 energy to execute a white 1 straight ahead maneuver. You cannot use this ability if you would overlap another ship. That has a cost of 3. Backup shield generator, saw this on the medium transport as well. At the end of each round, you may spend 1 energy to recover 1 shield up to your shield value, cost of 3. Comms booster, I believe this is another card I've seen in the medium transport expansion. Energy, spend 1 energy to remove all stress tokens from a friendly ship at range 1 to 3. Then assign 1 focus token to that ship, cost of 4. Considering that you'll probably be soloing with this ship a lot if you're playing to 100 points, this would already cost 90. I can see why this card wouldn't be used a lot, but I guess in larger battles like 150 to 200, then you would start being able to use that. Dodonna's Pride, this looks like a title. Yeah, CR90 forward section only title. When you perform a coordinate action, that's those little arrows that you saw on the action bar in the front section, you may choose 2 friendly ships instead of 1. Those ships may each perform 1 free action, cost of 4. Again, great if you have other ships with you, not so much if you're playing or if you're flying solo. Jaina's Flight, CR90 forward section only title. When defending, once per attack, if you are dealt a face-up damage card, you may discard it and draw another face-up damage card, cost of 2. So if you get something really nasty, you can trade it for something else. Tantive 4 title. Your 4-section upgrade bar gains 1 additional crew and 1 additional team upgrade icon, cost of 4. And there you have it. And last but not least, I figured I'd quickly show you the rulebook. The large ships and the huge ships in these expansions usually come with their own separate rulebook outlining new scenarios and rules and different things like that. The CR90 here is no exception. Let's see, just some things to quickly go over. The epic icon, we've seen that already. The huge range ruler, that's something I forgot to touch on when I was showing you the range ruler itself. But normally, whenever you're attacking with a primary weapon at range 3, the defender gets an extra defense die. In this case, at range 4, the defender gets 2 additional defense dice, and at range 5, with the primary weapon, the defender gets 3 additional defense dice. And since the CR90 here at this point is the only ship that can use the range ruler, the larger one here, then that would really only come into play whenever this thing was attacking with its primary weapon at a ship at range 4 or 5. Down here, rules for the card. It shows you how to assemble the range ruler down here. I already went over that. Activation phase, it goes over the rules on how this thing moves. And again, I touched on this in the medium transport, but let's go ahead and do that again. Okay, I moved some things aside just so you could see what I'm doing. What you're going to want to do, let's say you want to move straight. You're going to first want to take this bottom white line and match it up with the blue line that runs right in the middle here. Now this blue line also comes into play whenever you're trying to shoot with the thing's primary weapon on the forward section, but I'll touch on that in a minute. But again, you're going to want to line that blue line up with the white line on the bottom of the range ruler. This is your starting point. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to keep this template stationary, and then you're just going to simply move the model up how many spaces straight you're going. So if you reveal a 2 straight maneuver, you'll move this blue line up to the white line right above the 2. So let's just move that up like that. And there you go. So now this thing just moved 2 straight ahead. If you wanted to make a turn, it's a little bit more tricky. There is a little groove on the inside part here, and you're going to want to fit this little groove into the corner here of the forward base, like so. It's going to be a little snug. Let's see. There we go. And let's say you wanted to move 1 this way. You would keep the range ruler stationary again, or not the range ruler, but the maneuver template. You're going to want to put that like that. and then your one slight turn is right here, and now you've just moved one slight turn. If you wanted to make two slight turn, you would just simply move here instead. And there you go. Alright, now I mentioned before that this blue line also comes into play when you're shooting with the forward section's primary weapon, and again has a 360 firing arc. Now, that means that it can't shoot into itself, so it has a limited range as far as the forward section is concerned. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that this is an enemy TIE fighter, and this is an enemy TIE bomber right back here. So what you're going to want to do to determine if it's within the firing arc is to take it from the middle of the forward section, and then you're going to want to line it up with the ship that you're attacking. In this case, this range ruler here does not intersect the blue line, so you're fine. It's within the firing arc and you can shoot that. However, if you wanted to aim it here, again, you want to take it from the dead center of the forward section, and you're going to want to line it up with the enemy ship in question that you're trying to target. And as you can see here, the blue line intersects the range ruler. So in theory, you would not be able to attack this particular ship. However, if you had a secondary weapon and had, like, say, turbo laser batteries or what have you, it would be within this firing arc. As you can see, there's a firing arc that extends here and here, and this ship falls in the middle there. So you could, in theory, again, use your energy to attack this particular ship. Getting back to the manual, I'm going to touch on some things I've already touched on in the previous medium transport video, but may help those just, tuning in for the first time that haven't seen it. Energy is a concept that was introduced then, and basically you can store up energy and you can keep it over a series of turns, and then you can spend that energy to perform specific actions, and it depends on what cards you have and what actions you have as to whether or not what the energy can be used for. But energy is gathered during an extra step during your turn. On your activation phase, before you take your action, you're going to want to do these three things. You'll want to gain energy equal to whatever's on your maneuver template. Again, that maneuver dial rather. So if you were to go one left here, you'd see that you would gain 3 energy, and you would put 3 energy right on your ship. And then step 2 is allocate energy. Basically, you can take that energy and allocate it to any ship cards that you might have, upgrade cards, what have you. And then you can use energy. The CR90 may use one or more of its upgrade cards or damage with the energy header. So that gives you a chance to use your secondary weapons before the combat phase even begins. So it has a step up there. Just some other things to touch on. Again, I've covered this already, but for those of you curious about it, the recover action that you hear me talking about earlier, basically you use all of your energy to regain shields up to that value. So if you spend, say, 4 energy, you have to spend all of it, mind you, but if you spend 4 energy, you get 4 shields back. However, you can only gain up to whatever your ship card can hold. So there's that. Reinforce, again, I think I've said this already, but the reinforce action, the reinforce token adds 1 evade result to its defense roll, but only if that token is assigned to the targeted section. So if you assign the reinforced section, actually the forward section cannot do it, the aft section. So the only section that can use this action is the aft section. So if your forward section gets hit, you would not utilize this particular ability. What else we got here? Let me see if I can focus. Target lock, I covered that so many times, I don't even bother with that one. Coordinate, I covered this too. The CR90's 4 ship card contains the coordinate action. This allows it to perform the coordinate action. To do so, choose another friendly ship at range 1 to 2. The chosen ship may immediately perform 1 free action. So there's that. Combat phase, it goes over how this works. Again, I already went over how the turret works and all of that jazz. Crippled sections, huge ship rolls. Again, it follows the same rules as the medium transport. Just to sum it up, running into a smaller ship will immediately destroy it, so that could be some sort of tactical maneuvering on your part if you happen to run into a swarm. I mean, you could aim right down the middle, destroy as many as you can if possible. If the enemy isn't paying attention, you could do a lot of damage that way. Overlapping huge ships, overlapping obstacles, all of that's covered here. What else we got? Actually, mission booklet is separate this time. Normally the missions are right inside there, but as you can see, there's mission T1, T2A, mission T2B, T3A. So there's a lot of different missions in here to check out. And there you have it. Nothing fancy, but hopefully this gives you some idea as to what you're in for. Keep in mind, I didn't cover everything. This was more of just an overview to give you an idea of whether or not you want to pick it up. I believe I saw it priced at $80 at launch, but it later lowered to $50 or $55, and you can find it for $50 or $55 on Amazon. The price fluctuates because Amazon draws from multiple sources. So if you're interested in this, pick it up. Like I said though, just be very careful with it. I've already broken one of these and had to super glue it. So if you can find like a nice out-of-the-way place for it, like up on a mantle somewhere, or even better in a curio cabinet or somewhere safe, out of the way, but you can still show off the model, then perfect. So yeah, you can check out my review of the core game at www.dadsgamingaddiction.com, or you can click on the links in the below description. That'll take you there as well. This is Vince, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.